Welcome to Highfield Think Tank TV, kasoma Faruq of Uganda. UNEB to start receiving continuous assessment scores after 3 years delay. UNEB has finalized the mechanism that will be used by schools to transmit student school-based assessments under the new lower secondary curriculum. Unlike the old curriculum, which relied solely on the final Senior 4 and Senior 6 examinations, the new O-level curriculum was created to include classroom-based assessments throughout the 4-year cycle, which will account for 20% of the final national examinations. Although these school-based scores were meant to be submitted right from Senior 1, this did not happen since the curriculum was launched in 2020, before most of the enabling mechanisms were not in place. Now, Jennifer Musamba, the UNEB spokesperson, says with the effect from term 1 of the new academic year, schools will be transmitting the continuous assessment scores using the UNEB portal. The ICT department has been working on the system. It is now ready. Schools with access to our portal will be able to post those assessments, says Kaire. This particular portal has been in existence and schools have been using it to register candidates for national examinations, get results, and transmit continuous assessment scores of selected subjects like the French language, home economics, fine art, and others. The portal was reconfigured by the experts to handle more data, and every learner's scores will be sent regularly. The scores will be aggregated to inform the 20% of the end of the cycle result. 80% will be from the national examination, Kasule adds. It should be noted that not all schools have access to the portal, given the fact that currently only examination centers can access it. Kalle, however, says that the body is already working on the modalities to ensure that schools without center numbers are also included in the system to enable them to transmit data to the examination body. She says that the body is currently working with the National Curriculum Development Center and the Education Ministry to find out how this will be conducted. She further notes that soon the ministry and relevant agencies, including UNEB, will provide guidance to schools and parents on how the system will be handled. UNEB staff are undergoing training on how to manage this new evaluation, as well as developing standardized instruments that schools will use to award marks. Our reporter has learned that the training is bankrolled and facilitated by the British Council in Uganda. Many teachers, parents, and students have been asking how the marks would be transferred to UNEB. Now the assessment format is being implemented. Another major concern has been about what would happen to the learner scores if he or she transfers from one school to another. Available information indicates that every learner will receive a computer-generated learner identification number (LIN) on their first registration on the system to help track their performance even if they change the schools. The process of allocating these numbers is already underway. A source from NCDC also informed our reporter that pioneer students, those who will be in Senior 3 in Term 1 this year, will be assessed based on scores obtained in Senior 3 and Senior 4. Ideally, the curriculum requires that learners are assessed right from Senior 1. But due to the disturbances we have gone through epidemic and the fact that the pioneers were automatically promoted, we might not require their Senior 1 and Senior 2 scores, but this has not been officially decided. A source added. As the transmission of scores to UNEB is soon beginning, there are concerns that some teachers lack the skills of carrying out assessment. The issue is acknowledged by Dr. Grace Baguma, the NCDC director, saying that this has been confirmed by the feedback they are receiving. She, however, adds that NCDC is committed to offering training to ensure that teachers in both private and public schools are equipped with the relevant skills. We are now providing training, and UNEB will soon join to assist us in making sure that teachers and head teachers are proficient in how these assessments are administered and scored. We recently experienced a financial crisis which negatively impacted our programs, but we think everything will be okay, Baguma adds. Under the new curriculum, teachers are expected to grade students on a scale of 3, that is 1, 2, and 3 in every topic or math of the math. This is done to determine whether learners have grasped what they are taught in class, and if not, remedial activities are done before moving to the next topic. Instead of having students wait to study for end-of-term exams, this evaluation technique focuses on making sure that students acquire the necessary competencies. The new system also aimed to reduce the over-reliance on final exam scores as a gauge of academic performance. In recent interviews, curriculum developers at NCDC noted that they chose to provide a continuous assessment with a 20% initial contribution just as a starting point, with an intention of gradually expanding its end result contribution to 50%. The idea of having continuous assessment is not new, as it's being applied in many countries with strong education systems in Europe. In Uganda, it had been suggested way back in 1987 by Professor William Senteza Kajubi, led Education Policy Review Commission, and it was adopted in the 1992 government white paper. However, its implementation at the primary and secondary levels was delayed due to the absence of enabling systems. In the mix was a question of integrity, with many people worrying that this form of assessment could see teachers favor their learners or put them at a disadvantage for their benefit. Subscribe on our YouTube channel to get all the leading tactical news countrywide and, of course, worldwide. Thank you very much.